Welcome to the David Damian Show. Hey everybody, this is David Damian with Live with David Damian. I'm here with my buddy Jordi Vilasuso.
What up, what up?
What's going on, man? Hey, so you know what? I met Jordi. Can I tell? I'm going to tell the story. I don't
Please
care.
do. Please.
So I met Jordi through a very dear friend of mine, Jose, which is the singer. I used to represent him as a publicist. And Jordi grew up right across the street.
My neighbor.
Yeah, and so I used to, when I was doing work in Miami, I used to, as a publicist, I would sometimes stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. One time I even stayed for a month. And I remember, you know, I don't know if it was you, but I could have sworn I was like so tired.
There was some riffraff. There was some riffraff.
There was a kid on a skateboard going back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if that was you, but
That was definitely me. Skateboard, went through the rollerblade phase until I really got into a bad accident. And then mom and dad were like, no, we're not going to let you do that anymore.
Okay.
You stick to acting. No, those X game tricks that you're trying to pull in the front pocket.
So let me talk a little bit about your career.
Sure.
You're a Cuban-American actor. You originated the role of Tony Santos on the CBS soap Guiding Light, where he won a Daytime Emmy. Hello.
What up?
All right. Jordi went on to play the role of Griffin Castillo on All My Children. I love that show. I used to be hooked to it. Those soap operas are dangerous. They're very addicting. Right. And then he's currently on the hit ABC series.
NBC series.
NBC, I'm sorry.
That's
apologize.
all good.
Days of Our Lives, which has been on forever and
50
ever. 50
years. We just had our 50 year.
Oh my God. Where he plays Dario Hernandez. Sorry, NBC. I apologize. And then he has 2 movies in post-production. One is called A Cowgirl's Story, starring Bailey Madison, and Altitude. That's also in post-production with Dolph Lundgren and Denise Richards. And you can currently see 2 films of his on Netflix. One is called Circle, and the other one is called Invitation.
And there's actually another one called Magic City Memoirs, which is about growing up in Miami, what it was like.
That's great.
Which is a film very close to my heart.
Cool. That's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, man, Netflix. That's where it's at.
Well, I mean, I'd get tired just reading this. Is all so long. Hey, so then how did you get started?
I got started kind of just really bothering my parents. And then my epiphany, Catholic school, I went there for 10 years, did 10 years in Catholic school. They opened a drama club, and I auditioned for the play and got the lead role. Couldn't sing worth a damn, but my parents saw that, you know, I had this passion, so I kept pestering them, and we started calling agencies, and I started in Miami, Florida. And did commercials and stuff like that, and then I landed a manager, and then I came out to LA when I was 13, landed an agent, and just kept knocking on doors until I moved out here when I was 18, just because
You mean Los Angeles? You came out to Hollywood, right?
To Hollywood.
Yeah.
Moved out to LA, and you know, started hustling. Started the hustle.
Yeah, it's definitely a hustle. A lot of people think that, you know, acting is just so easy, but it takes a lot of discipline and hard work.
It does,
yeah.
And it takes a very thick skin, and you know, you can't take. We work, you know, so personally in our work, and then the business. It's like you have to be able to differentiate between the business and, you know, your passion, because it is show business. It's not show art, as they say.
That's right. And so you played Dario Hernandez on Days of Our Lives. Tell us how your character interacts with all of the other characters. Like, are there hot, steamy scenes and stuff like that?
There have been I remember I had this one scene where I had to take my, it was my first scene where I had to have like my shirt off. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the tan, I'm gonna do the whole thing, get really good shape, and then finally they say, no, dude, you're just gonna jump out of bed. We're not showing the torso. I worked so hard for this, but yeah, I mean, it is a story about relationships, and Dario Hernandez is a bit of a schemer right now. He's up to no good, but he's got a really good heart. He's always involved with these ladies who have these difficult relationships, and he's there kind of like hearing their stories. So he's a very good listener, and I think that has a lot to do with the way that he grew up, you know, in a single family home, single mom, and he's got this issue with his father, which, thank God, played by A. Martinez, thank God has just gotten resolved. A's the man.
Iconic.
A's the man, dude.
Iconic.
A has been, and I love working with A. We work a lot together, and Galen Gehrig and Camila Banus and Armando Fina. It's been fantastic, and it's the Hispanic family on the show, which is very important to me, that they put a light on that.
That's great. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's smart. So speaking of family, you come from a family of doctors?
Yeah.
Tell us about that, and then also, we talked a little bit about your parents, supporting you as a young actor.
Well, my parents were Cuban exiles, and my father's father was a pediatrician in Cuba, and he came over, and he well known in the exile community. And then my dad, followed in his footsteps, and as doctor, very proud doctor, and I'm very proud of him because he's board certified. And then my brother pursued it as well. My father's brother was a psychiatrist. His other brother is the head of critical care at University of Miami. It's like a whole thing. But for me, I was like, you know what? I'll play a doctor on TV. How about that?
That's cool.
That's what I wanted to do, and I did. On all my children, I played a cardiothoracic surgeon, which is funny because I would call my dad when I had these things to say, which I was like, I didn't know them from Adam, so I just call him and be like, what is this? And he was like the technical, quote unquote, technical advisor on the show. So it was very special that I was able to call him and he was able to give his input.
Well, I met your brother in Miami.
Yeah, we look a lot alike. My brother was,
was
we're
like
kind of like twins. He actually, when I needed a fake ID, I just, got
So he's obviously older than you are,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we have some people that join. I can't, so there's a delay on Facebook Live and on what I receive here. And so I just want to make sure, let's see, some people. Oh, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, wifey.
Hi, and Julia Perez from Phoenix. She goes, Jordi, do you plan to visit Cuba now that the countries are cooperating?
Yeah, I would love to go to Cuba. I would love to shoot in Cuba. That's one of my dreams. Yes, indeed. I believe it's the right thing. I'm very supportive of what's going on right now, and I would love to. I think open communication between the island and the U.S. I think they need to see how we live and how we pursue our dreams, and we can get a lot from the island as well. The people there are lovely. So I think just open lines of communication are very, very important.
Yeah, all of my friends that have been over there, to Cuba, they always talk about just how beautiful it is, how beautiful the people are, and they come back and I've never heard anything negative.
No,
it's all great
no,
stories.
yeah.
And so are there actors that you admire, and if you had a wish list of directors, who would be on that list?
Listen, in terms of actors who I admire, artists, I think anybody who has longevity in this career, who's able to have a career, support their family, and do what we do, because I tell my daughter, I get paid to pretend, and it's a beautiful thing, and tell great stories. So anybody who's really had longevity, and because I know as well as a lot of people know how difficult this career is, so that's something that I really, really respect and hope to achieve in my own life. Directors that I admire are, Villeneuve, who's did Sicario. I think he's great. Scorsese. You go down the line. I love the creators in TV now. From all these great showrunners who are creating such great ideas. We were just talking about Stranger Things and how cool that show is. Just how they were able to take you back to the '80s horror stories, and like they did such a good job of inviting us into this world that I was very, I grew up loving the Goonies and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very much like the
very
Goonies.
reminiscent of that feeling,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great content out there. It's hard to catch up with everything, but I think we're in a real interesting time in terms of storytelling.
Wow, I just been binge watching that show, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Stranger
I watch it
Things.
everywhere. Like, I'm watching it in the bathroom, on my phone. It's like, I can't. I'd be
Hey,
like,
man,
okay,
that's kinda personal.
I can't. Well, I was in the shower.
So, yeah, we do something here called Rapid Pursuit. Do we have anybody else? Oh, hi, Caitlin. She goes, hi.
Hi, my loves.
Hi,
Hi,
Caitlin. How are you doing? Oh, that's you loves. I thought she was
She's
plural.
giving you love, too.
Hi, Caitlin. So, and Aaron Nicholas just joined. Hey, Aaron, how's it going?
Hey, Aaron.
Rapid fire questions. We do this all the time on the show. And hey, you know what? We have our Superman glasses on. Or you look like Superman. I look like Super Mexican.
Super Mexican.
So, anyways, rapid fire questions. When were you the happiest?
I'm super happy right now.
Cool.
I'm happy being here. I'm happy that I have I feel tears coming out. I feel happy that I'm a father and that I'm, just able to support my family doing what I love. So right now my wife just got a beautiful pillow that says gratitude on our bed, and I'm just like, that's right.
She's a beautiful spirit, man.
Yeah. I'm very grateful to be where I'm at right now.
And if you could speak to God, what would you ask him?
Wow, brother, that's a rapid fire question. What would I ask him? You know what? I don't know. I'd say thank you. I'd say thank you for this life, but I don't know what I'd ask him right now.
And what is your greatest fear?
Fear is something that I think I deal with every day, as I think a lot of people do. I think fear of failure, but in terms of mindfulness and awareness and, something that I practice, I think, talking to yourself in the right way and really addressing those things, I think you can get past that. So I think fear is not something, to be scared of. It's something to approach and to really process and then get through.
Yes, when you say talking to yourself in the right way, meaning that reassuring yourself,
or just
talking to the voices in your...
Right, or putting things in perspective, like on my show, you jump, it's like doing a play every day, but there's no rehearsal. So you you could have a 3-page monologue, and you're like, how am I going to do this? And it's just like...
That's scary.
You know what, dude? You're going to get through it. This is what you do. And then you just go through it. And for me, what's the most enjoyable is the risk. It's the jumping off and just flying and enjoying that ride. That's where I get the thrill in doing what I do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd be going like, line.
But that's the thing. You have that right, too. You have that right to say line. So that's another thing that I can say to myself. Be like, I can say line.
What's my line? Yeah. So, what is your greatest fear? I already said, which living person do you most admire and why?
Which living person do I most admire and why? It's always been my parents, and both of them, because they brought me into this world and kind of got me to where I'm at right now. And in terms of my life right now, parenting is so important, and paying attention is so important. So I'd say all due respect to them for that.
That's cool. And what is your greatest accomplishment?
My family and my girls.
I know that's right. They're very cool. So Jimmy, you sent me this. Do we have another question here? Let's see real quick. Oh, Nancy Marcus, and hi, Nancy. And then Karen Redstone.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh, hey, Karen. And then, so she's on the show as well?
No, I don't know. No,
Okay.
Karen's a friend of mine. I don't know who they're asking about Days of Our Lives. So I guess they have a question about Days of Our Lives.
And then Octavio says cool. I think you meant cool, right? Because it says dual.
No, Dual is Days of Our Lives.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's the, what do you call it? Not the abbreviation, but
Hey, what do
Dual.
I know?
Right, I didn't get it for a long time. Just like, what are you
Okay.
doing? Like,
Dual.
Acronym. Thank you, sir.
Oh, so you must watch it. So tell us about your upcoming film, Cowgirl Story and Altitude.
Cowgirl Story is a movie starring Bailey Madison, and it's about it has a military background. Her father goes away, and Bailey moves to a small town with her family. It's a military town, and then her father moves away, and it's how the town, and she gets accustomed to the town, living there in high school, and she's a girl who loves to ride horses, and she starts like an equestrian team in the school, and her father goes away to battle, and they don't know if he's dead or alive, and I play one of her father's best friends, and kind of being there for her and stuff like that. And it's a very beautiful story about her, that says a lot about our troops and the families that are here supporting
And
them.
that's great. And I did a little bit of research on that, but tell us about Altitude as well.
Altitude, again, starring Denise Richards and Dolph Lundgren, was directed by my friend Alex Merkin, who I did this short film called This Modern Man is Beat, which is probably the thing I'm most proud of. And it's, I think it's going to be distributed by Lionsgate, and it's, it's an action movie that takes place on a plane, kind of in the vein of Taken. A lot of action, and I play a guy who, when you see him, you think he's one way, but by the end of the movie, he might turn out not to be all that great.
Oh, that's
A
cool.
little spoiler alert.
That's interesting. And what advice do you have for any young people that are I was going to say people of color, but Jimmy says you better say young people.
Well,
So I said, okay, what advice do you have for young people because they want to do what you do?
I'd say really model the person that you love. Like when I used to watch movies, whatever content I saw, there was always like someone who I found the most compelling. And I was like, how did they do that? So I think you read their biography, you model how they did their career, you see who they studied with, and also if you want to work in TV and film, get on a set. Get on a set, whether it's extra work. I think stand-in work is amazing because you're already seeing how the other actors are coming on and how they're working. Look, we're getting a bunch of loves and likes and all that stuff.
I know, that's pretty cool.
And I just think that, you know, this career is really hard. So if you want to you know, really do great things, you have to work very hard and take it very, 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 very seriously.
I know it's a lot of work because I just know just from all the actor friends I know, and you know I have to hand it to you, Jordi, because you know there's folks like yourself, and you know I have a lot of friends that are actually what we call not only stars or starring in shows, but they're working actors that
No doubt.
consistently work, and I think a lot of it has to do with discipline and really the outlook on life. And you know there's like this theme of the folks that I know in the industry. And I really admire you for that.
Thank you,
I
man.
really do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate that.
Let's see, what does Caitlin say?
His sister.
It's your sister.
Oh, it's Bailey.
I'm
on
Katie's Facebook.
because I can't ask questions on mine. I have a question for you. When are we going to drop our mixtape?
Oh, a mixtape.
That's for what? Mouse in the Bounce House. That's for. That's so. Bailey and I have a little rap that we do,
Okay.
and our hip hop names are J Days and B Mads. Yeah,
That's funny.
and her main like rap, she'll always go back to the mouse in the bounce house. That's her thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. And then there's Octavio has a question. I had a deep talk with Jordi at the coffee station.
Oh, no doubt. What's up, Octavio?
At work about the art of acting. I have deep respect for the fantastic talent and the raza. Okay,
Absolutely,
cool.
brother. Thank you, man. Thank
That's
you,
really,
Octavio.
really cool. So, you know, speaking of Stranger Things, I posted yesterday about how much I loved Stranger Things, and I was binge watching, so I wanted to tag Winona Ryder. She's not on social media at all.
Yeah,
And so you have like this hate,
I do.
love,
I have
hate
and-
relationship.
And my
with social
sister
media?
Bailey would attest to that. She knows that. She always tells me, "You got to do this." And I have this love hate thing. You know, I haven't figured it out. You know, I do like engaging with the fans on social media, but the posting on Instagram and stuff like that, that's something, you know, I'm posting pictures of my family. I mean, if you guys want to see that, if you want to see me hanging around with my family, it's all good.
Hey, what some people want to
I mean, you know, the shirt off. I can't be at the gym. Maybe I will post a gym photo because I am really into yoga. That's like my main discipline. So maybe and I do find that very helpful to other people because I think yoga is like the be all end all for awareness.
I
and stuff
really
like
believe that. But my, you know, what I do is I just eat. That's all.
Me too. And drink.
Hey, cheers, man.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers to you and to your family and to Caitlin out there. Thank you. So, give us your social media handles. You're Jordi Vilasuso.
Jordi Vilasuso at Jordi Vilasuso across the board.
At
Jordi
Jordi
Vilasuso.
Vilasuso. I love that.
Yeah.
Vilasuso spelled Vilas and USO.
That's right.
Yeah, like USO. Vilasuso. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I think we're like out of time. That went quick, huh? Yeah, it was fast. You know, I always say when I end the show that a dream without an action plan is only a dream. You know, make an action plan. That's what he did.
No doubt.
And really got to make the sacrifices and work hard, and anything's possible, right?
No doubt.
Cool. Thank you so much for watching. Truly, truly appreciate it. And we're going to see you soon on a new medium. I'll give you some more information about that real soon.
Check me out on Days.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives.
Bye.
God bless.